Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Why aren't you ready before you start recording? I don't know, okay? I like... Hi, guys. Okay, English vocabulary differences, US versus UK versus Australia versus New Zealand versus South Africa. Jeez. Okay, I'm curious. Hey, let's watch.
But once you get into the water, that togs.
Water.
It looks like you have a tiny bird in your pants.
Guys, I might do some stereotypical accents here. I like to do them, and I don't mean to offend. And if you are offended, then I don't know what to tell you.
Is that why? I always wondered.
It looks like you have a tiny bird in your pants.
Is that why? I always wondered why it was.
At the next robot, turn right.
I just picture like a robot standing there, like, now you can go.
Hello. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm from the US.
Hi, I'm Lauren from the UK.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm from the US.
I was trying to tell where she was from in the US, but I can't tell.
Hi, I'm Lauren from the UK.
Hi, I'm Odessa. I'm from...
What the heck? The American just sounded more British to me than the British person did. The British person sounded almost American. Why am I pausing?
Emma. I'm from the US.
Hi, I'm Lauren from the UK.
Hi.
That sounded American.
Hi, I'm Odessa. I'm from New Zealand.
Hi, I'm Beth and I'm from Australia.
Hi, I'm Jacob and I'm from South Africa.
In Australia, we use a lot of slang. I'm not going to do it on camera, but we swear a lot as well. It just make words out of different words. Odessa can understand me because she's a Kiwi and it's very similar, but I don't think you would be able to understand a lot of my slang. I don't think you
Oh,
guys would.
maybe a little.
I've learned a lot. So I feel quite confident in my Aussie slang now.
I was thinking the other day, Aussie is...
Or South Africa, kind of all alone in the English speaking. Like Australia has New Zealand and vice versa. There's the US and Canada. There's Great Britain, who's just the English, and then they have Ireland and whatnot, and then South Africa all alone.
like 30% American, 30% UK, and just 80% we made up.
New Zealand and Australia, we adopt similar slang, but we always do have like little arguments of like, you know,
Who created
what.
And then, wait, you guys say pants, not like underwear, and then we say pants, and you guys say trousers.
Trousers.
Actually, we say pants.
You guys say pants. You say trousers.
I say trousers.
We say pants.
Because our pant, like this is pants, but for you it's underwear, right?
We call them undies.
Undies. I call them undies too.
Yeah, undies wouldn't be that weird.
In the US, I call myself American. I say I'm an East Coast American.
Same here.
In the UK, it may depend on which part of the UK you're from, but I would be like, oh, I'm British or like English specifically.
Tommy.
Yeah, pom.
Okay. Usually
What does pommy mean?
we would just like say, depending on the region. So people from Liverpool would be a Scouser. Rather than the entire country, we will just like specify a particular area.
In New Zealand, we either say you're a Kiwi or a New Zealander.
In Australia, you are an Aussie.
In South Africa, like if you're in South Africa, you would just identify with your like language or cultural group. But abroad, South Africans like to call themselves Saffers, which is something that I do not enjoy.
I've never heard that.
I just don't like the way it sounds. I just prefer to call
Saffers.
myself South African.
So yeah, in the US,
How about Saffrican?
we call it McDonald's.
Mickey D's is probably the biggest. Golden Arches, Mickey D's, McDonald's.
I was always told that in America you call it Mickey D's.
Yeah.
That was the nickname for McDonald's.
And I thought it was McDick's. And that was apparently hilarious last time.
No, I guess I just say like, I'm gonna go to McDonald's. In the US, the McDonald's, it can sometimes be a bit like dodgy, a little bit sometimes, depending what part of the US you're in. But
True.
yeah, I just say, I'm gonna go to McDonald's.
In the UK, we would say Mackie D's. Where I'm from, we say Mackies. Or we would say like McDonald's rather than
Macca's.
McDonald's.
That makes sense because you get the Big Mac. Mickey D's, I'm like, you get a Big Mick? No. But Mackie D's totally makes sense.
In New Zealand, we say Macca's.
Yeah, in Australia we also call it Macca's.
Macca's.
We have signs changed for it to just be Macca's.
What?
Really?
That's pretty cool.
Wow, so that slang is so ingrained that it's actually has a sign.
Yeah.
In South Africa, we also say McDonald's or McD's.
Yeah.
McD's?
Mac, that makes
Mac
Big
D's,
Mac
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
No,
In the
it's McDonald's, Mickey D's. It has nothing to do with a Big Mac. I don't know what she's saying there. That makes sense. McDonald's, Mickey D's.
US, we call them sneakers. Like, oh, I want to get a pair of sneakers. Like, oh, nice sneakers. Sometimes people also say, like,
Shoes.
oh, nice kicks you got there. Like,
Yeah.
that's like
I've heard that.
slang. Like, oh, nice kicks.
In the UK, we call them trainers.
Okay, so as a Kiwi, we literally, it depends on the shoe, but we say sneakers, we also say runners, we can also say trainers depending on the shoe.
Yeah, in Australia, those are 100% runners.
In South Africa, we're a little bit similar to New Zealand. We can call them sneakers or tekkies.
Yeah.
Tekkies.
Techie.
So cute.
No idea where it comes from. When you're like a kid, you're like, I want to get some new tekkies. You know? It's quite a cute word.
I
think,
like
yeah.
it.
I remember the first time I heard someone say trainers, they said, like, oh, I've got to go get my trainers. I thought, you have, like, personal trainers?
Yeah, that okay. That's not that insane. That I can. Yeah.
Like, what?
Swimsuit.
We say like swimsuit, actually like for the woman, like one
Bikini?
piece, bikini, swimming trunks for the guy.
Yeah, bikini or one piece. Swimming trunks. I feel like maybe if you're like really older. But I couldn't see anyone, like my friends saying, oh, like we're going to go here, get some swimming trunks. It's just get a bathing suit.
Guys, Speedo.
Yeah.
Speedo.
The woman, like the full thing is a swimming costume.
Which is where cozy comes from.
Yeah, we call it swimming cozy.
In New Zealand, we call it togs. The men's ones, we call them boardies.
In Australia, we also say togs, but this does also depend on which state you're from. So I would say togs and boardies, but if you're from like Queensland, you probably say bathers or cozies.
Yeah, in South Africa, I guess kind of a generic umbrella term, you can just say like swimming costume.
Why costume? Like, do you guys use costume? Like, when you say costume, I think of Halloween. So,
But then if it's like the girls one for swimming, like swimming costume and speedos for men, and then when you go to the beach, girls usually wear a bikini, boys will wear some board shorts.
I don't know why this one's getting under my skin. The costume, swimming costume. Do you use the word costume in any other sense other than your swimwear? The costume just sounds weird.
I guess for like standing on your board.
I
Sorry
really
if
just
you're
heard
from-
of like swimming costume or cozy before. I haven't heard about togs. I haven't heard
Yeah.
about any. That's a first for me.
There's actually a funny New Zealand
Sorry.
commercial.
Like, what is a costume? Like, forget swimming, forget what they're talking about. What does the word costume mean to you guys? To me, it's like a, not disguise, but it's like you're putting on a like. Like if you're going to like a Halloween party, you'd put on a costume. Yeah.
And it's a guy in togs, and it's when it's acceptable to be undies, so underwear to togs, and it's this guy walking out to the ocean. It's undies, togs, and it's just kind of what I think. Yeah, because like if you wear speedos, I'm guessing those are called undies, but once you get into the water, they're togs.
Wow.
So the
Ooh, that's pretty
transition.
cool.
Yeah.
We also
I like
have
that.
a bit of a rude name for Speedos, because they look like underwear. We call them budgie smugglers.
Budgie smugglers.
Always heard this.
Is budgie like your bullocks?
So a few prime ministers ago, our Prime Minister Tony Abbott wore some budgie smugglers
Tony Abbott. I thought that was
to the beach. But it's because
English.
it looks like you have a tiny bird in your pants.
Is that why? I always wondered why it was.
I love it.
Look at the guy's reaction. Like, this is typical. All the girls laughing and then him just like.
Is that why? I always wondered why it was.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm
a tiny
obsessed.
bird in your pants.
I do not have a tiny bird, okay?
In the US, we say traffic light, stoplight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, stop here at the stoplight, stop at the traffic light.
Yeah.
In the UK, we also say traffic light.
Agreed.
Traffic light or just the light, because we're lazy.
In
The light.
Australia, we say the traffic light as well.
In South Africa, we say robot. It's
I feel so bad for South Africa.
one of those things every single person from another country is always so confused about it. I don't even know where it comes from. Maybe it was the first kind of automatic kind of functioning machine that we had in the country. But so you can say like,
Robot.
at the next robot, turn right.
I just picture like a robot standing there, like, now you can go.
Yeah, exactly. Lollipop, candy. What?
Actually, in the US, it can depend where you are. Generally, we say candy, although people around Ohio, they'll sometimes say like, oh, I'm gonna go buy some suckers, and that's a lollipop. Yeah. Oh, I got a couple of suckers. I'm like, what? You have?
Yeah, I would have no idea what you're talking about if you said I had a couple of suckers. I'd think like you had a couple of people that you, like a sucker is like someone who's gullible and like you tricked into something. So
But we generally say candy, yeah.
In the UK,
Candy.
we would call them sweets, or the ones on the sticks are lollipops.
Yep.
In New Zealand, we call them lollies.
In Australia, we call them lollies. It doesn't matter if it's like a hard candy or like a soft like jelly. Everything is just lollies.
In South Africa, it's exactly the same. You just call it sweets. And the ones on the sticks, they're lollipops.
That's interesting. So this category, candy and lollipops and whatever, is not really like if any of these terms were used, I wouldn't
Same,
really
we call
think
them
much of it.
lollipops on the stick. Everything else is candy.
So can a marshmallow be a lolly?
We just call it a marshmallow.
It's like a gummy bears,
A
like
mallow.
rock candy, all of that. Like lollipops,
Sandlot.
it all counts as lollies.
And then we all say chocolates.
Yeah, chocolate
Okay.
is different. Yeah.
Corn on the cob, corn.
Yeah, in the US, we call it corn on the cob. Let's have some like cream corn, yeah.
In the UK, well, I would say corn.
I'm not sure what creamed corn is. I'm so actually curious that I'm gonna creamed corn. Creamed corn. Yeah, I don't think I've ever eaten creamed corn in my life. Hold on, let me do a midway check. Okay, I'm good here. All right, continue.
Corn, like corn on the cob, but maybe some more posh people may say maize, or people who come from like farming kind of areas, they may call it maize.
It's a posh term to
I-
say maize.
I really know it as corn, to be honest.
Yeah,
In
in,
New
Aus-
Zealand.
in Australia, we say corn or corn cob. Like we don't say corn on the cob, it's a corn cob.
You love to shorten every
Right?
Yeah.
At first, I thought that was a cliche, like, oh, Australians just like it's a stereotype that they love. You know, when there's like a stereotype about your certain area and you're with people from other areas, there's some kind of joy that comes from just like playing to the stereotypes. And I thought that might be the Aussie thing when it comes to shortening everything, but it's not. I mean, they shorten everything.
Like my mom would make dinner and we're like, yeah, we got some corn cobs.
Corn on the corn
I
cob.
think for the most part in South Africa, we just call it milies. If you're gonna have like corn on the cob, we call that milies. If it's kind of like in flour form, we would call it maize meal. Corn would be more associated with popcorn.
Poor South
I think it's an
Africa.
Afrikaans word. That's just been kind of
Afrikaans.
because there are so many languages. Like
Afrikaans is a Dutch English mixture or a Dutch African mixture.
it's all just mixing together. But that's the one that stuck. Milies.
It sounds so fancy.
It sounds like the opposite of fancy to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Mealies on the cob.
Milies on the cob.
In the US, we would say that's great, that's good, that's awesome.
In the UK, we would say, that's great, that's fabulous, that's fantastic.
In New Zealand, we say choice. That's choice. Or mean as, good as.
In Australia, I'd say like, that's nice, like nice.
Nice.
Nice. That's a knife.
In South Africa,
All right, here we go. South Africa. What is it?
like I guess we use some words that are unique to South Africa would be like kif.
Give?
Kif. Have you heard kif before?
Kif.
No.
Or like lekker?
No.
Lekker.
Lekker?
That reminds me of a car.
Lekker? That reminds you of liquor.
Lekker car.
Lekker.
Lekker.
That reminds me of a car.
Lekker car.
Ah. Do you know what I find so interesting, guys? Is that you know how British people or Australian people might pronounce words without the R? Like car would be ka, or damn it, like a car park. Like what's funny is that is actually like a stereotypical New England accent where you don't pronounce the R, where it's like AR or, and that's kind of an accent that my parents tried to like keep me from because it sounds I don't know.
Sometimes in Australia, we do use this for like, I'm okay. Like, I'm suffering, but I'm okay. It's just kind of general, like, everything's all good.
It's like, you good? Good.
Yeah, you good?
In Māori, so in the indigenous language of New Zealand, you can also say ka pai, which means very good. And we can say, oh, ka pai.
Kapai.
Ka pai.
A pie. Yeah.
Pow.
I'm going to say the same with robot. It just reminds me of just someone doing the robot.
Yeah, robot was
So
strange.
it's just like,
I always think it's very entertaining to see like clothing ones, just how different it is between countries. So like the swimming clothes,
The
and
thongs.
Also, like, runners, the different types of runners, names and stuff like that.
I also really found budgie smugglers funny. Like,
Like I do not wear thongs, but I wear flip-flops sometimes, all right? But to an Aussie,
it's something that I've heard before, but it's also now being like used in South Africa more and more often. Yeah, yeah. Well done, Australia.
Yeah.
We like to make everything a bit rude.
It was fun, and I finally got to find out the meaning behind budgie smugglers. So I will make sure I inform everybody in the UK about the meaning behind that.
and I feel like I can now like use some of these as well in my own vocabulary.
Yeah.
So like learning new stuff.
Maybe not like fluently, but
Oh, yeah,
we're
no.
definitely learning. But yeah, today was so much fun.
It's fun to see like which words we share, which are similar and
Yeah.
which can be easily understood by other cultures because they're maybe so close. It's really funny. You guys are hilarious.
he's
So
great.
today we compared some English words.
So if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe or leave a comment. We'll see you soon.
I preemptive like.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go outside. It's really sunny out, and I'm gonna go lay in the sun just because winter is over, and that'll be really nice. Bye, guys.